Welcome to the Young Professionista. My name is Mary Grace Gardner, college admissions and career coach, and I help hardworking students get into their dream school and ambitious professionals with landing their dream job. In today's episode, what I'll be going over is why I had one of my high school seniors completely rewrite his college application essay despite it being perfect. Now, when it comes to college application essays, there is so much pressure. People feel like they have to write a perfect essay, and oftentimes students get completely paralyzed not knowing what to write. So for the particular student I'll be talking about today, now he was a student who sought one-on-one services with me late in the game. So I didn't get a chance to get to know him starting from freshman year all the way up through senior year. He was late in the college application cycle when he found me and was seeking help on his essays. Now, I normally don't take on one-on-one students later on in their college application cycle, but for this particular student, it seemed like there were things that I could do to help him. So let me start off by sharing. He was aiming to get into a very competitive dream school on early decision when he found me. And what we were working on was how to write a compelling college application essay. Because at that point in 12th grade, and as far along as he was and close to the due dates that he was, there was no time to go back and retake SATs or go back and work on that GPA. Whatever he had was what he was going to have and apply with. So we worked together on how to position his experiences on his application, but the big thing we were really working on was his essays. So on his main essay, he wrote about a transformation that he experienced himself. Very deep and provocative, and an amazing story that he wrote about his own personal journey. Now, that's what he ended up with by the time we worked together. However, when he showed me his initial draft of his college application essay, I saw lots of opportunities. A couple things. One was there was not a direct story that he was trying to explain. He was really unclear about what was the point of what it was he was sharing. Number two, he didn't connect it to why he would be a good candidate for his dream school. And number three, it was really all over the place. There wasn't much organization. It felt really jumpy. And so after we had our initial conversation, we went through strategies on how can he really hone in on what was the key message that he wanted to share, what would be the best way to do that, and also what he could do to really strengthen that essay. So after he wrote his first draft, it looked better, but I had lots of pointers for him regarding how to strengthen the language, how to improve the flow. He had already great vocabulary in there. He had great ideas, but there was still some roughness to the writing that I was really trying to pull out these great ideas that he shared with me and help him to translate that and put it on paper. So the next iteration of the essay he shared with me, when I saw it, I was really suspicious because the language suddenly was elevated, the flow was suddenly perfect, and it didn't sound like him. It didn't sound like the rest of his essays that I had read. It didn't look like any other parts of his application, and the complete tone of it didn't sound like him. And for someone like me who has done this for years, it was a red flag to me that this was not his voice and not his writing. And so I asked him, did someone edit your paper? And he finally admitted that yes, he had a trusted adult who was a professional writer rewrite his essay, rewrite it. So no wonder it sounded so perfect, because he had an adult with years and years of experience writing professionally to actually rewrite his essay. And so I turned to my student and said, you have a choice here. One is, this is a beautiful essay. This actually really depicts a lot of the things that we were talking about. And it is very clear that this is an adult writing this essay, not someone who is 17 or 18 writing this essay. And it totally does not match the tone of the rest of your application. So your choice is to either gamble your chances of getting into a great school because you actually had someone else pretty much write your essay, or two, you can make sure that you're authentic and make sure that this is your language and words that you would actually use, and rewrite this essay so that it belongs to you. And so while the answer may be pretty obvious to anyone who is listening to this story, you should go with being authentic and you should do the right thing. When you're in the middle of such a stressful situation and just feeling desperate to get into that dream school, I can understand why people may feel tempted to choose another path. So immediately he said, no, I do not want to throw away my chances of getting into my dream school. I want it to sound like me. And so when I asked him to go ahead and rewrite it, it's really difficult to convert an essay that looks perfect and make it sound like you again. So he was going through the exercise of changing some of the words here and there and needed some guidance. So what I had asked him was, if you wouldn't use these particular words, or if you wouldn't phrase it in that way, strike it from your essay and put it in your own words. So he did. He did that. And when I looked at it again, it was great. Yes, it might not have been written by someone who is professionally publishing things, but it sounded like a high school student who was undergoing a profound transformation and was able to write about it in a really intelligent way. So with that, he submitted his application and got accepted into his dream school, and he'll be starting there in the fall. So what I want you to take away from this is that I know there is so much pressure to feel like you have to write that perfect essay, and it can be tempting to just have someone write it for you or to get someone to rewrite your work. But the danger in doing that is that it won't sound like you, it won't be your voice, and you will lose out on the opportunity to actually go through the learning experience that writing a college application essay is supposed to put you through regarding that self-reflection and finding your voice. So if you found this helpful, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like some helpful tips on how to prepare for college, I invite you to download my college prep checklist. You'll see the link in the comments below. Go ahead and click it. And once you're there, you can sign up for my newsletter. And I will be emailing those on my newsletter helpful tips on a weekly basis. See you on the next episode. Thanks so much for joining.